Now, you could say, I like to walk, watch TV, and relax at the end of the day. Will people understand you? Sure. But is it powerful and impressive? Absolutely not. Does it also demonstrate C1 vocabulary like you need to do in the exam? Also no. I absolutely love an afternoon stroll, and afterwards, indulging in a bit of telly to wind down is the cherry on top. Now that sounded amazing. And this is the power of advanced vocabulary. It's not necessarily formal, but it's still advanced. Hi, I'm Izzy. I'm your C1 Advanced Cambridge English exam preparation teacher, and I've helped hundreds of students pass their C1 Advanced with my online courses and face-to-face classes. And today, we are going to look at 21 words/phrases related to free time that you can use to get 190 to 200 points in your C1 Advanced exam. I'm going to give you definitions, examples, synonyms, so you can start using them today. And guys, make sure you stay until the end because I'm going to give you a PDF with all of the phrases that I'm going to teach in this class. So let's dive right in. Phrasal verb number 1 is to wander around. I love this one. And it means to walk in a relaxed, aimless way, often for pleasure or exploration. For example, I wandered around the city like a tourist with no clue, and I loved every minute of it. Phrase number 2 is to be engrossed in something, which means to be completely focused or absorbed in an activity or a subject. For example, she was so engrossed in her book that she didn't notice her tea had gone cold. Twice. Phrase number 3, which is a phrasal verb, is to wind down. Now, this means to relax, to reduce stress, especially after a period of work or excitement. For example, the evening yoga class helped her wind down before bed. Now, phrase number 4, which is a verb, is to binge watch. To watch multiple episodes of a TV series one after another. For example, we binge watched the entire season in one weekend. Phrase number 5 is a passion project, which is a personal project done for enjoyment, but not necessarily for profit or for work. You might say her handmade jewelry business started as a passion project. Now, number 6, and I personally love this one, is a side hustle, which is an extra job or an extra source of income or even a small business that you're starting that you have in addition to your main job. So you have your main Monday to Friday job and you have a second job on the side, your side hustle. For example, she runs an online shop as a side hustle, or English with Izzy started as a side hustle, but it's now my full-time job. Number 7 is soul nourishing. This means it's emotionally enriching or fulfilling. So for me, spending time with my close friends is soul nourishing. It nourishes, it feeds my soul. Phrase number 8 is to satisfy your curiosity. And that's when you gain information or experience that fulfills your desire to know more. It makes you want to know more, meaning it makes you happy that you learnt more. For example, traveling is a fantastic way to satisfy your curiosity about other cultures. Now, phrase number 9 is to lose track of time. And this means to become so absorbed in something that you completely forget what time it is. For example, I lost track of time while painting and I completely forgot to have dinner. Now, phrase number 10 is to dabble in, which we use when we're talking about hobbies and activities. And it means to take part in an activity in a very casual or very superficial way. She dabbled in pottery before taking a proper class. Phrase number 11, this is a phrasal verb, is to pop into. Now, I put this phrasal verb in one of the quizzes in my online courses and almost nobody got it right, so it's one we need to learn. And this means to visit somewhere briefly or very quickly. For example, I popped into the bakery for a quick snack. And another phrasal verb number 12, is to head out. This means to leave or go out, especially to start a journey. So he headed out for a run before breakfast. Phrase number 13 is to take a breather, which means to take a short break or recover. She took a breather after hours of studying. Number 14 is to be in your element. I really like this one. And it means to be very comfortable or happy doing something that you enjoy. So he is in his element when he's cooking for friends. Piece of vocabulary number 15, and this is just a normal verb, and the verb is to savor. And this means to fully enjoy and appreciate something, especially slowly. For example, he savors quiet weekends after a busy work week. Phrase number 16 is a well-earned break. I think we could all do with one of these. And this is a rest or a holiday that you truly deserve after hard work. For example, the team enjoyed a well-earned break after the big project. Phrase number 17 is a hands-on activity. And this is an activity that involves active participation and practical experience. So pottery is a great hands-on activity for stress relief. Piece of vocabulary number 18. This is also a verb and it's to hone. And we use this to talk about our skills. It means to improve or to perfect something over time. He's been honing his guitar skills since childhood. We're nearly at the end, guys. Piece of vocabulary number 19, which is a collocation, is to embrace spontaneity. And this means to willingly and happily accept unplanned or unexpected actions. For example, they decided to embrace spontaneity and take a road trip. And last but not least, number 20, which is also a collocation, is to seek novelty. And this means to look for new or unusual experiences or ideas. So people often seek novelty. They look for different things to escape routine. Now, before we wrap things up, let's read a paragraph together which includes all of these pieces of vocabulary so you can really hear how advanced and powerful they sound. In my free time, I love to head out with no fixed plan and just wander around the city, occasionally popping into a quirky cafe or a secondhand bookshop. It's my way of embracing spontaneity and seeking novelty in everyday life. Sometimes I get completely engrossed in a new podcast or lose an entire afternoon to a good binge-watching session, especially after a long week when I need to wind down. I also have a passion project, building a blog about eco-travel, which started as a side hustle, but now feels like a truly soul-nourishing part of my routine. On quieter days, I dabble in painting or pick up a hands-on activity like baking, just to take a breather. And when I'm sketching or editing photos, I'm totally in my element, often so focused I lose track of time. I try to savor my free time, using it to hone my skills, satisfy my curiosity, or just enjoy a well-earned break after ticking off my to-do list. Now, if you want a copy of all of these words with even more examples and also some synonyms, I'll leave the link to the free PDF in the description below. All right, guys, that is a wrap on 20 juicy C1 level expressions to talk about your free time like a total pro. If you've ever said, I like to relax, well, you can now say, I like to unwind with an engrossing book and just lose track of time. Boom. Sounds sexy. Now it's time to put you to the test. I challenge you to write a comment below using one of the phrases from this video today, and I'll give you bonus points if it makes me laugh. Hit that like button if you learned at least 1 or 2 new words in this video today, and hit subscribe if you want to be the first to know when my next video on advanced English comes out. And as always, you've got this. See you in the next one.